Life here in the Philippines is definitely different. It's a game changer. And if you have ever thought about moving to the Philippines or moving abroad anywhere, I want to share with you some things that may apply there, but definitely applies here in the Philippines. I want to go over some tips, advice, and a few nuggets of wisdom from what I have found as a retired expat here in the Philippines. Stay tuned. Here we go. Hey, good morning to you from the Philippines. It's a beautiful morning here. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is probably the most important thing. When you come to the Philippines, and I sure hope you do, whether it's for vacation, retire, move here, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Please understand that when you date or you marry a Filipina, you are dating and marrying into the family also. She is probably going to want their approval, and it's going to be very, very important. Please understand this. Family is so important here. It's much different than in America. People love their family in America, of course, but here in the Philippines, it's more of a connection. It's more of a permanent bond. The family is going to be involved. They will become a part of your life. Right now, where I am in the Philippines, if you want to go back and look at my other views of my house and the construction of my house, you can go back and look at that. But here's my house here that I'm pointing at, and this we built for the in-laws. This is where they live, literally 5 feet apart. Not only does that keep them nice and safe to where if they need anything, we can hear them if they call for us, or if they need something, they're right there. But also it keeps that love there. It keeps that bond. And it's just what works for me and mine. It may not work for you and yours, but it works for me and mine. Over here is just a small little hut that we have set up where the family can come and gather, because family gatherings and family bonding and the love is something that here in the Philippines you will find will be different than any other place you've been in. Hey, the next thing I want to talk about is table manners. How Filipinos conduct themselves at the table. Okay, now the first thing that is probably going to be the most shocking for foreigners or Americans or whoever whenever you come over here is belching, burping. So when a Filipino is eating their food, as a compliment or just as a gesture, they will happily just burp out loud. Men, women, kids, the whole deal. And it's not meant to be gross. It's not meant to be funny. In fact, it'll even pass by as if nothing ever happened. But it's just showing that you enjoyed the meal. The other thing is, you don't really need forks and spoons and knives all the time when you eat here. Now, I'm enjoying a bowl here of rice with some chorizo, which is like a sausage, and some eggs, or itlog they call it here in Bisaya. But a lot of times they'll just use their fingers and they'll just eat like that. I normally wouldn't eat on camera, but I want to show you that sometimes I use a fork, sometimes I just use my hands, just like Filipinos. Your transportation when you get here. Okay, so one of the most painful things that I had to do when I came here to the Philippines, and I sold everything in the US, was I had to sell my Toyota Supra. And as painful as that was, it's because, well, you don't really need a car when you come here. Most people use scooters, they use tricycles, the bus, Grab. There's just many other ways, taxis, but a lot of people walk. But I use a scooter for most, and you can tell just by going down the road here, most people use scooters here. Because see, when you come here, whether you're a foreigner or you're coming here to retire or just to visit, you have 90 days to get your license. And during those 90 days, you won't get a ticket for not having a license. It's just kind of your grace period to get your things straight. And that includes motorcycle or driver's license. And I just love driving my scooter. If you've never driven a scooter or a motorcycle on the open road, now's your time to do it when you're almost kind of pushed that direction if you come to the Philippines, and I sure hope you do. And in the words of Ferris Bueller, concerning my scooter at least, I love driving it. It is so choice. If you have the means of picking one up, I highly suggest it. The Philippines and the people are very proud to have a no divorce policy. It's almost a law. Again, annulment's possible, but those are under extenuating circumstances. You just can't walk into a lawyer's office now in the Philippines and just get a divorce and just be separated for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and it's done. When you get married here, you get married for life, period. If you're having a rough time, you work through it. And that's the great part about family culture here, is that if you and your Filipina are married and you're having a tough time, the family will be there to support you. The family will be there in your corner. Just know that in the Philippines, there is no divorce. And one more thing, I would be amiss to not mention the badass, the great Dr. Jose Rizal right over here. There's many of these statues and monuments that are dedicated to him here in the Philippines. He's a national hero. Check him out, Dr. Jose Rizal. Really cool guy, great story. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you thank you very much for watching my video, subscribing to my channel. It really helps it grow. I'm really big on being honest, transparent, and straight to the point. Now I want to tell you about, there's only one dating app that I would suggest to you guys right now. It's called Christian Filipina. You may have heard of them before. They've been on NBC, BBC, they've been in the Miami Herald, CBS. They're very, very popular for their vetting process to be sure that everyone who's on there is real. Right? It's real, and you're not wasting your time, and you're not wasting your money, and you're not wasting your effort. So I'm going to put a link down in the comments. I'm going to pin it right to the top. Click on that link, open yourself up a free account. Check it out, see if it's for you, sign up, and well, let the matchmaking begin with Christian Filipina. Now, when you come here to the Philippines, let's talk about how you spend your money. Of course, they don't take American dollars here. You'll have to use Filipino pesos. Be sure if you use any kind of conversion app or you're trying to find out what the conversion is between Filipino pesos and dollars, that you don't just choose pesos, okay? Because in Mexico, they use pesos. In the Philippines, they use Filipino pesos. It's PHP, okay? And then USD for dollars. Don't get mixed up with that. Filipino pesos, okay? They don't take American dollars here. You'll have to get your money exchanged. Now, I suggest that you take cash with you. And the reason why is because there's a lot of places here that whenever you go to exchange your money, you're going to get a really awful rate. Do not exchange your money at the airport unless it's a minimal amount just to get you to your hotel or wherever your first place is that you're going. Don't use your bank unless you double check what the fee is. My bank, which I won't say, wanted to charge me 12% of whatever I was changing, and that cost me a lot. So you see me standing outside of this M. Lolier. They also have something called a Cebuana. It's basically a money exchange area. It's a place that has Western Union, Wise, Remitly, you name it. If you want to exchange money, this is the place to do it. Now, they will give you a much better rate than the airport will or any other currency exchanges as soon as you get off that plane. But you could just get a little bit of that money when you get out off the plane or when you start your travels. If you need a little bit of pesos, go ahead and get a little bit of that just so you can get to where you're going. But do the majority of your exchanging here. Don't carry a large amount of cash, of course. If you use your credit card or your debit card, it'll work here. Just be sure that you call your bank first and let them know, or you could end up in an embarrassing situation at a store and you won't be able to buy whatever you are wanting to buy. Just let them know and they should be able to update your card or your cards so that you can make purchases abroad. Now, one little tip, download, say, the Western Union app. And before they leave the States, just to be sure it works, they will Western Union themselves. Yes, you can actually just Western Union yourself. Same information, sender and receiver. Western Union yourself a small amount of money. Then go to your local Walmart or Western Union office while you're in the States. Be sure you can pick that money up. Just pay the fee. Gives you that little bit of assurance to know that when you come here to the Philippines, you can get on that Western Union app and you will simply just Western Union yourself, your own name, all the same information, Western Union it to yourself here in the Philippines. You do that on the app in a matter of 30 seconds. You come here to the office, they're all over the place. You pick up your cash. I pay about 1.5%. It varies depending upon the rate. And then I pay a $5.99 fee on top of whatever I'm converting from my dollars to pesos. So for a minimal amount of money, I get a great rate, easy pickup. Just be sure you have your passport and it's valid and you're good to go. Now, another thing to know about the Philippines is that driving laws are really just guidelines and suggestions that it appears. You'll see people on scooters, maybe not now, but you'll see them with 4 or 5 people on them. Sometimes kids. There's a lot of horn honking, but everyone, I don't want to say drives safe, but I have yet to see any road rage. No road rage at all. And I've actually been a slow scooter, new scooter driver. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of the background. I don't want to put too many people on camera and their faces, but it's just very casual and relaxed here. It's just not as structured and organized as it is in America. It's just not as strict. Everybody just kind of lets everyone else just drive as they can to get around. It's a controlled and silent chaos. Now let's cover two things at once, and that's about eating out, okay? So tipping is not expected here in the Philippines. When you tip, it's very much appreciated, but unfortunately it has started to become expected, especially with foreigners. Now this meal that I have here, it's just an energy drink, some pancit, which is basically noodles, with some spices and some meat mixed up in it. I have lumpia, which is like an egg roll. And then I have a Sting energy drink, which is probably not the best thing for me to be drinking, but I have a Sting energy drink. Now, this cost me 45 pesos, which is 90 cents maybe. But I'm going to leave a 50 peso tip. Why? Because, well, people struggle here. And second of all, because it's very much appreciated. And that less than $1, 50 pesos is less than $1, that 50 pesos is going to help the owner of this carinderia. It's going to really help them. And speaking of carinderias, let me tell you something. When you come here, the McDonald's is great, the Mang Inasal, which is a popular fast food restaurant, the Jollibee is a very popular, it's like KFC and McDonald's combination. Those are great when you come here, but they're just touristy fast food places. You want the real Philippines? The real Philippines is what I'm eating here. This pancit, the lechon kawali, which is basically pulled pork with rice. The lumpia, that's the real Philippines. That's the generational recipes that have been handed down from generation to generation. Recipe has stayed the same, maybe tweaked, but it's been handed down from great Lola, which is grandmother, great Lola, down to the Lola, down to the mom, down to the daughter, down to the granddaughter. These are generational, rich, traditional, culturally fortified food of the Philippines. And also frequenting these smaller places helps the economy. These people here work so hard. And I'm gonna leave this 50 peso tip because it's not much for me, but to them, it's a game changer. This is actually more than the price of this food. Now, excuse me while I go in here and I buy some paper gold. Let me show you what I mean.
Huh?
This is what I mean by paper gold. I say this because here in the Philippines, do not expect for there to be TP, toilet paper, in the public restroom. Now, some of them will have a dispenser outside where you can buy a roll of toilet paper, but it is not going to be coming in the restroom, trust me. I actually made a short about this. Go back and check it out. It's in the shorts on my channel. It looks like this. This right here is 35 pesos. It's about 61 pennies, about 61 cents, and it could possibly save your life. Don't be in a compromising position where you're out in public. You got to go do some business here in the Philippines. There's no toilet paper, and you end up leaving without your socks, if you know what I mean. So always stock up on this paper gold. Trust me. Okay, now let's talk about how do you use your phone, your cell phone, and your plan when you come to the Philippines. I'm here outside of a sorry store. Sorry just means a variety store. You can get anything from shampoo to dishwashing detergent to cigarettes, candies, sodas, you name it. But they also sell SIM cards. It's not really a SIM card. You see here, it says it's a all data eSIM, and then it has 24 gigs of data, only, which is another way of saying unlimited. Only calls and texts, okay? And it's valid for 30 days. Inside of here, which you pay 599 pesos, inside of here you'll get a QR code, and you simply will scan that code with your phone, and it will set your phone up with a new Philippines number until this runs out, but you can set the time when you want it to switch back to your home plan in the States or wherever you are, and it gives you automatically 24 gigs of data, which should be enough. Even if you have Wi-Fi at home or you don't, that's enough data. And gives you a lot of calling and texting for 30 days. And you can see here it is 599 pesos, which is $10.25 USD. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you come here. You don't have to get a new phone. You can bring your phone over here and you can get a SIM card. One last thing, I just thought about this. be sure your phone is unlocked. You'll be able to utilize this eSIM card that you can get at Sorry stores. You can get them at some malls, department stores. It's what most of the locals do here. Easy and cheap. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to cover, and it probably is one of the most biggest misconceptions about the Philippines, is what we eat here. And one thing we don't eat here is dog. Okay, especially not this beautiful, beautiful Labrador and Shih Tzu mix that we have. His name is Pac-Man, named after Manny Pacquiao. We do not eat dog here, okay? No matter what anyone tells you, you will not find dog on the menu anywhere. Now, come to the Philippines, live your best life. See you soon.